So with the Galaxy Z Fold 7, Samsung's finally brought its foldable hardware up to the level of its software. They've always led on the software front, but the hardware has felt a step behind until now. The Z Fold 7 is the first time it feels almost like a complete package. So here are 18 key changes, some big, some subtle, and one that won't sit well with a lot of you. Let's get into it. What's up guys, Sal here. So before we dive into the changes, here's some good news if you're thinking about pre-ordering this phone. Samsung's offering up to $1,000 in trade-in credit, plus an instant $150 Samsung credit you can use towards storage upgrades or accessories. On top of that, if you order through my link, you'll get an exclusive $50 Samsung credit, bumping that total to $200. If you don't have a phone to trade in, you still get an instant $300 off, no strings attached. Plus, if you bundle your phone with a Galaxy Watch or Buds, you get 30% off those too. And that $50 bonus, it kicks in when you click the link in the description and place your order within 30 minutes. If this sounds like a great deal, the link is down below in the description. Alright, so let's be real. The Z Fold has looked the same since 2021, but the Z Fold 7 finally breaks that trend. Samsung just didn't make it look sleeker, they made it insanely thin. When open, it's just 4.2mm thick, and when closed, it's 8.9mm. That's thinner than almost any other foldable on the market right now, and even more shocking, it's lighter than the S25 Ultra, coming in at 215 grams. If someone had told me Samsung would hit that number a few months ago, I would have said they were dreaming, but here we are. And it's not just thinner, it's bigger too. The Fold 7 has a taller and wider outer display now with a 21:9 aspect ratio, so it actually feels like a regular phone when folded. And for once, it doesn't feel like you're texting on a TV remote. Samsung also finally tackled the crease. It's still slightly visible at extreme angles, but for the first time, it's not something you'll notice during everyday use. That alone is a huge win. But what you will notice though is that inner selfie camera. Samsung ditches that under display camera and replaced it with a punch hole 10-megapixel sensor. The good news is that it's a massive upgrade in quality, better field of view, better clarity, more usable. But the trade-off is that you lose that seamless full screen look. Samsung also ditched those camera rings from the Fold 6. The new layout looks clean, actually premium. But that camera bump is massive, like thicker than the phone kind of massive. But hey, when you make something this thin, the camera has to go somewhere. Also, after 5 generations, Samsung finally added a 16GB RAM option, but it's only for the top tier 1TB model. Still, that's a solid move with all the multitasking and AI tools packed into One UI 8. Speaking of which, the Fold 7 is the first Samsung phone to ship with One UI 8 on Android 16. The upgrades aren't groundbreaking, but there are some changes like the Now Bar and Now Brief now work with third-party apps, better animations, improved audio eraser, new dynamic effect for photos, and much more. You also get 6 months of Google AI Pro for free, which is worth around $120. That gives you access to Google's most advanced AI tools like Gemini Pro. Considering how much of a focus AI is on modern smartphones, that's a solid bonus. Of course, you also get the full Galaxy AI suite introduced with the S25 Ultra, things like Now Brief, Photo Assist, which is now even better, summarization, Gemini, and more. But here's the thing, there's nothing new here that we didn't already see. Samsung's also increased the display sizes. Cover screen is now 6.5 inches, up from 6.3, and main display is now 8 inches, up from 7.6. Doesn't sound like a huge difference? Well, it is. When you consider the actual usable screen real estate, both displays feel significantly bigger. The outer screen feels less cramped, and the main display now really feels like a mini tablet. They've also added ProScaler AI display tech, the same one from the S25 Ultra. It uses AI to clean up visuals, sharpen text, and enhance colors. Might sound like a marketing fluff, but side by side, yes, you can see the difference. Under the hood, the Fold 7 runs on Snapdragon 8 Elite, and yes, it's hands down the fastest chip on any phone right now, including iPhones. 38% faster CPU, better GPU, and 41% better AI handling. Battery size hasn't changed, but because the chip is so efficient, Samsung says you get an extra hour of video playback compared to the Fold 6. That's not bad at all. And on top of that, thermals are much better. So even during heavy gaming or multitasking, the Fold 7 stays cooler. But when it comes to charging speeds, there's no improvement. But the Z Fold 7 is now Qi2 certified, which means it supports magnetic wireless charging if you use a compatible magnetic case. Now about the cameras, the main camera jumps to 200 megapixels, the same sensor as the S25 Ultra, and it's a big deal, more detail, sharper photos, and better night performance. There's also a new ultra-wide camera with a better sensor, but the resolution is still the same. So basically, one big upgrade, the rest still waiting. There are also some low-key upgrades here. New hinge, stronger ultra-thin glass, stronger frame, and Vulkan graphics support. But here's the one change I'm not happy about. No S Pen support. There's no digitizer layer under the screen anymore, and that's the price of making this phone thinner. As a huge advocate for the S Pen, I'm seriously disappointed. It's like Samsung gave us a taste of it in earlier models and then yanked it away. This will absolutely frustrate the longtime Fold users, especially the ones who actually used it for productivity. I'll go deeper into this in a dedicated video tomorrow because it deserves one. But yeah, people aren't happy with this decision. So is the Z Fold 7 a real upgrade? Yeah, no questions, even without the S Pen support. New design, bigger and better displays, actual flagship level camera, more RAM, thinner and lighter than ever. This is the most meaningful Fold update since, honestly, the Fold 2. If you're on a Fold 6, you'll still notice the difference. If you're on a Fold 5 or older, it's night and day. I usually don't recommend upgrading year over year, but this is the one exception. If you're planning to pick one up, don't forget to check the links below for an extra discount. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one.